What does your inner voice sound like? You know, when you look in the mirror and stare at yourself, that voice in your head that spits thoughts at you, telling you why you need a new haircut or what's up with the pimple on your forehead. You don't even need to be staring at a mirror. Every single second you're conscious, there's that inner chatter. Perhaps you recall a conversation you had 5 years ago that still makes you cringe. Or when you replied, no worries, to a text, but deep down you were actually worried and low-key offended. But you didn't want to seem too pressed. Just this non-stop broadcast of super random things from your subconscious. What's interesting about this voice is its intimacy. It knows you better than anyone. It understands your humor. It knows your triggers. It calls you out on your bullshit. It holds you accountable even when you don't want to hear it. It also comes up with excuses, sometimes as a defense mechanism. We all need excuses every now and again, don't we? It is probably why it's so hard to be in the moment, to be present, to not think too much about the past or the future. I mean, how are you supposed to be present when you've got this thing in your head that won't stop talking? Can I even refer to it as a thing though? Because if I say it's a thing, that makes it sound like it is separate from me, like it is outside of myself. But I'm the one thinking these words, and it's in my voice. So I'm listening and talking at the same time. It's a lot to take in, to be honest. Isn't it funny how embarrassing it is when you get caught talking to yourself? But that's basically just your inner chatter slipping out loud. The only difference is when it leaks out, people look at you like you're crazy. Meanwhile, inside your head, we all have these colorful yap sessions, full-blown TED Talks, and everything else rolled into one. I meditate regularly. And for me, meditation happens in stages. The first stage is basically forcing yourself to be bored so you can see what your mind comes up with to entertain itself. It's like flipping through a spontaneously generated photo album of your thoughts, your memories, your worries, and random ideas. You swipe through. Sometimes the images are clear and sharp. Other times they are fuzzy or unexpected. Maybe that's why some of the most creative ideas come to you in the shower or right before sleep. Your brain slips into this default mode where it's free to wander without interruption. The next stage is where you start labeling those thoughts while also having an anchor to bring you back to the present moment. So for example, say I sit down to meditate and I'm feeling anxious or distracted. I might notice a thought like, there's anxiety, or that's me over planning again, and gently return my focus to my breath or another point of attention. This way, I'm not trying to fight the thoughts or push them away. I'm just recognizing them and choosing where to put my attention. A common misconception about meditation is that it turns you into some enlightened Buddhist monk who completely is detached from all the ups and downs of human emotion. Like you just breeze through sadness, happiness, crankiness, worry, and mood swing with this calm, unshakable swag of non-attachment. But honestly, that's far from the truth. I still have those roller coaster days, feeling all the emotions just like anyone else. The difference is that practicing meditation consistently, as I have for the past 4 years, changes how that inner voice shows up. And this is where things get pretty interesting. You see, the voice inside your head, the chatter, the judgments, the memories, the plans, feels like you. After all, it's your voice, it's your thoughts, your fears, your hopes. But when you meditate regularly, you realize that voice is not the deepest part of who you are. Philosophers and psychologists have pointed to this distinction between the self as a thinker and the self as an observer. The inner voice is the thinker, constantly weaving stories and interpretations about the world and yourself. But beneath or behind the thinker is the observer, the silent awareness that notices the thinking without getting caught up in it. When you become aware of this observer through meditation, your sense of identity starts to shift. You realize you're not the contents of your mind. You're the space in which those contents arise and pass away. This is the coolest thing about meditation because it loosens the grip of that inner voice. Instead of being swallowed by anxiety, doubt, or self-criticism, you learn to witness these experiences without merging with them. The voice still talks, but it no longer defines your experience or your sense of self. You literally become a different person because you begin to live as the watcher and not the chatter. You stop being pulled around by every emotion, every impulse. Instead, you just watch. One of my favorite things about this is how curious I stay about what my mind is up to. The jokes only I can hear and laugh at, the ideas it comes up with, like this episode, and all the strange, unexpected connections and random stuff swirling around in my head. It's like having your own specially curated Netflix, free of charge and totally unique to you. So if you've just started meditating or you're thinking about giving it a try, I say go for it. Depending on your personality, it might feel frustrating at first or even boring because it seems like nothing is happening. But if you stick with it a little longer, you begin to notice the separation I've been talking about. There's a lot of cool scientific research that backs this up too. For example, during meditation, your brain waves slows down and shifts into patterns associated with deep relaxation and focused awareness. Without getting too sciencey or technical, these waves are associated with creativity, memory, and intuition. The brain is a muscle, and that means it can be rewired. So with regular meditation, you strengthen that ability. One last thing before I go. While researching this episode, I came across something really fascinating. Some people don't have an inner voice at all. Literally no internal monologue, no self-talk running in their head. So instead of a voice, their minds might process thoughts through images or abstract concepts or feelings. It's like their mental experience is more visual or sensory than verbal. That blew me away. I figured everyone had that voice in their head. It's definitely a topic worth exploring in its own episode. Thank you for listening, and as always, you can check out other episodes in the library, give the show a rating, and follow the TikTok and the YouTube channel. Links are in the description. Until next time, stay free.